Hello, everyone. This is Brian Full. I'm the assistant in instruction for the psychology department. I am recording this video to give you an introduction to our participation credit system, which your course is using. You should check your syllabus to see exactly how the credits are being applied to your grade. But I want to explain how you can earn credits and how you can find out how many credits you have. So for starters, I wanted to point you to the Bates Psychology homepage, which we are seeing here, and show you how to access the section of the site that's relevant to participation credit. If you go to participate in research and choose this first option, student participation in research, this is where you can find out everything that you need to know about our participation credit system. So here's all these rules. I'm going to go through these a bit, but if you have any questions, you can always just refer to our homepage. So in order to earn a participation credit, it's based on time. Each project that is eligible for participation credit has an average time value associated with it, and 1 hour of participation roughly will equal 1 credit that you have earned. And then we go down in detail as low as 15-minute increments. So you could earn a quarter credit for a 15-minute project or a half credit for a half-hour project. And note that the times involved are not necessarily the amount of time that you personally spend. It's based on a project estimate. So if somebody thinks that they'll occupy like 25 minutes of somebody's time, you would still earn half credit for that, even though it's not a full 30 minutes. Similarly, if you happen to take a little bit longer than the average participant and you took 35 minutes on that project, if it's a half credit project, you're still only going to get half credit, even though you went a little bit over the estimated time that it would take to complete that project. In order to see what projects are currently available, at the end of this page here, we have the click to view the current list of approved projects. So I'll take you here. And this takes you to a Qualtrics form, which isn't actually soliciting any feedback for you, but this is a way that we can generate a list of all approved projects, and it's going to show up in a random order. So every time you come in here, you're going to see a different order. And I want to walk you through these. We're going to keep adding projects throughout the semester. So there's not a lot going on right now. Most of these projects are going to be from our senior thesis students who are collecting data for their thesis. So obviously at the start of the semester, they don't have everything going yet. Most of the projects will start being added by the end of September and through October. So those are the best time to be checking. And similarly, don't wait until the end of the semester. By the time November rolls around, they'll probably be done collecting data. So it's that mid-semester, September, October timeframe is the best time to find active projects in here. I know with the module system we have now that changes the equation, but for most of our thesis students, they'll be doing a full semester data collection. So that's still the best time. There are 2 types of projects you can participate in, either an online project like the first one we see here, or a lab project. So I wanted to show you how to sign up for all of those. So the online project means that you can do this right from your computer. You're going to do an online survey. So we have here information about this project, how long it'll take, how many credits you'll earn, somebody to contact if you have any questions about this, and it'll give you a little description of what you'll be asked to do before you actually get in there. Also, all projects have possible restrictions on here. So sometimes they're just looking for men, or just looking for women, or just looking for first-year students, or something like that. So do pay attention to the restrictions and don't participate in a project that you are not eligible for. You will not receive credit if you participate in a project that you are restricted from for whatever reason. And then in order to actually participate in this project, we click, and here's our sample survey, pretty straightforward. You answer these questions, and then at the end, you're going to see some debriefing page. So we submit this, and this is what you're looking for any online survey. In the final page of the survey, and these surveys could be multiple pages, in the final page of the survey, you're going to see an experiment number and a code word. And you need to remember that at least long enough to go on to this next page. You're also going to see a link to my form. And this is where you're going to say, okay, here's the experiment number, here's the code word, here's the professor that I wish to receive credit for. And so you need to record that information. This is a way that we can see that you did in fact reach the end of the survey and are providing the right number and code word combination to receive credit. And then this will come to me, and I will add this to your participation credit total for the semester. This is actually a really nice system because the person who's collecting all your data from the survey, presumably the thesis student who's collecting all your data, they don't have any access to your identity. Whereas I have access to your identity because you're filling out this form, but I have no information about your responses to the survey. So this is a great way for online data to be completely anonymous because though you're providing identifying information to me, the actual responses to the content of the other survey are not something that I have access to, and your identity is hidden from them. So good way to collect data anonymously. So let's go back here to our lab project. So this is something that, again, we have information about how long it's going to take. You're going to a lab session, you're actually going to meet with somebody in person, and this gives a little description about how that works. And then everybody's going to have a sign-up link. All sign-up links are done remotely, so you can click here. I should have updated this, but basically you'll see the online schedule here. You'll see appointment slots that you can sign up for and put your name in, and then that'll give you a chance to set up an appointment time with a student who is trying to collect data. And then the location and contact information for the experimenter are all on this main sheet. So, and then you'll be responsible. So unlike with the online projects, you will be responsible for giving your Bates email address and your psychology instructor to the experimenter when you meet them face-to-face, and they are responsible for communicating to me that you have participated in their projects. So each of these two projects have a different way for recording the responses. And so if you don't get credit for a lab project that you've done, your first step should be to reach out to the person that you met, the experimenter, and ask them if they have sent that information on to me. So those are the two types of projects, and your Bates email address is going to be used to track this. So either with either method, you want to make sure you're giving them your Bates email address. And I'm going to be sending out a report about once a week that shows how many credits you've earned so far this semester. And of course, if you have questions about that report, you can get in touch with me. So we have a couple rules about this system, and I want to go back here. These rules are again on this website. So one rule is you cannot participate in a study more than once. If you have earned credit for experiment number 1, you can't do experiment number 1 again and get an additional bit of credit for that. And please don't do that because it's actually really bad for their data collection. Ideally, they want to have data from a bunch of individuals, and if they record an individual more than once, that's really bad for their statistical analysis. So please don't do that and you won't get credit. Another thing is that you cannot get credit for a project in addition to some other type of compensation. So sometimes in order to get more participants, these experimenters will offer like a DEN gift card or a raffle for an Amazon gift certificate or something like that. If you are receiving participation credit, you cannot also be compensated in some other way. So sometimes you'll have a choice of which one you want to do, but you should know you can't do both. And the last thing I will suggest is that please take this seriously. If you are doing an online survey, please take time and read the questions carefully and try and answer honestly. If you set up an appointment with people, please keep track of those appointments and show up for the appointments. This is data collection for our senior thesis students. And so it's really important to them to get good data and for people to show up to the appointments that you make. So I would ask you to take this seriously. We're not asking for a ton of hours from you this semester. So please do take seriously the time that you spend providing data for our participants or for our experimenters. And then, you know, when you are a senior collecting data, then hopefully the karma will pay it forward and you'll have good data for your own projects then. That's all I have. If you have any questions, you can reach me by email and I'll be glad to discuss our participation credit system with you. Thank you very much.